Esther McVey is a lightning rod for controversy, and her recent actions on Twitter have cemented her position as a figure of derision, both within and outside her party. Once heralded as the Minister for Common Sense, a title that might have been intended as a mark of her practical approach to politics, that now appears to be a euphemism, a title, a sobriquet in hindsight that seems to have been a thinly veiled joke even then. The irony is glaring. McVey, who was meant to embody straightforward, no-nonsense decision-making, has become a caricature of poor judgment and tone-deaf political manoeuvring. The Independent today has done an article about her recent tweet. It is scathing and justifiably so. Her decision to invoke Martin Niemöller's famous and solemn verse in the context of a proposed smoking ban reveals a profound lapse in judgment, but is typical of the Esther McVey approach. The verse, rooted in the horrors of the Holocaust, is a sobering reminder of the dangers of political apathy and the incremental erosion of freedom. To liken a public health policy to such a grave historical event is not just inappropriate, it's offensive. And the Board of Deputies of British Jews rightly condemns her actions as repugnant and breathtakingly thoughtless. Their response underscores the gravity of McVey's misstep. By trivializing the suffering commemorated by Niemöller's poem, McVey has not only shown a lack of common sense, but also a deep insensitivity to historical atrocity. It's a stark reminder that political rhetoric should be handled with care, especially when it touches on subjects of profound human suffering and significant history. What's perhaps most alarming is McVey's reaction to the backlash. Rather than reflect and apologise, or quietly revise, she's doubled down, claiming that her analogy, her parable, was appropriate, and dismissing her critics as politically correct bullies. This response reveals a troubling lack of humility and humanity and an unwillingness to engage in self-criticism. Her defence, arguing that her analogy was about the gradual encroachment on freedom, misses the point entirely. It's not a concept of analogy that is in question, but the specific and the inappropriate comparison that she chose to make. In many ways, McVey's actions and her party's lack of response are symptomatic of deeper issues within Conservative ranks. Her tweet and the subsequent defence have gone without significant censure, suggesting either a lack of oversight or a troubling tolerance for such behaviour within the Conservative Party itself. It raises questions about the current state of the Conservatives. Why did the leadership candidates, why have they not spoken about this? Is there still room for common sense in the Conservative Party, or has that been eclipsed by ideological rigidity and a refusal to admit mistakes? I find it fascinating that Jenrick, particularly, has said nothing. Looking ahead, McVey's future in politics is precarious. I don't think she has any future. Her credibility has been so severely damaged by this, it's hard to see how she can recover from such a public misjudgment. If she was once a figure of fun in Conservative ranks, she has now crossed the line into something more problematic, a symbol of the party's potential disconnect from both historical awareness and contemporary decency. Her actions, her tweets demonstrate, and her defence of her tweets demonstrates a stark departure from the common sense she was once supposed to embody. Instead, she has thrown herself into some sort of summer recess. She's shown that she is out of touch and lacking in the qualities of basic decency, not only that her title once suggested, but that her role as an MP demands. I don't know whether this incident will be a turning point or simply another misstep in a series of miscalculations by both the Conservative Party and by Esther McVey. But what is clear is that her conduct has left a lasting and a damaging impression, both on her own future and on the future of the party that she belongs to.